My name is Sindhu, and I had the opportunity to walk part of the Camino de Santiago earlier this year. I've had lots of friends and family reach out and ask if I would document my trip, my experiences, the do's and don'ts, how to plan, how to pack, what to expect, etc., etc. If you have been on the fence about walking the Camino, my hope is that I can give you the last little nudge you need to get off that fence and make the trip. Or, after you've heard me, you may decide that the Camino is not for you. Either way, I hope I can be helpful. I walked the last 120 or so kilometers of the Camino Francés from Sarria to Santiago. If you had asked me last year about the single most important thing I have done in my life, I would have said without a doubt that it would have to be the gift of raising a family. While that's still the case this year, I would have to say that this year there is a tie, or at the very least, something that is a close second place. Walking the Camino was unlike anything I had ever done before. It was like a major tune up, like a reset for my soul. It was everything and more than what I had hoped it to be. You would first have to decide why you want to walk the Camino. It could be something as simple as because you can. I borrowed that from 80-year-old Charlie I met along the way. Charlie got a new heart a few years ago, and he walks because he can. Some people want time away from their busy lives. Some are looking for clarity, and some are looking to heal hurts. Some want to give thanks, and on and on. Your goals will define how you plan your trip. I definitely had deep spiritual motivations, among other things, that made me take the plunge. With the divide and conquer tactic that is everywhere lately, and the need for people to be on teams, with often no room for civilized conversations, I was finding it harder and harder to see the humanity in people. I wanted to fix that for myself. I wanted to see the good in the world at all times. I was also navigating empty nesting, a retired husband, a married child, and that feeling. I can't explain it. I'm 55 and I'm prickly, that feeling. Also, I'd always been a fairly fit person, but I had never really physically pushed myself. So this definitely fell into the, hey, it would be so cool if I can pull this off category. You would start by deciding what route you want to walk, and then decide whether you want to walk all of it, part of it, break it up, and do it over a few years, etc., etc. Sky's the limit. There are many ways to do it. We met a group that walked just the last 2 days and gained just as much as someone who walked days or weeks. You can keep the cost down by staying at albergues or hostels or pensions. You can also stay at B&Bs or hotels along the way. You can hire a service that will move your luggage from hotel to hotel for a nominal fee, or you can choose to carry your own luggage. You can use a company like I did, called walkthecamino.com, to arrange your whole trip for you. I joke that I was a bougie pilgrim, but for me, it did not take anything away from the pilgrim experience. Who do you walk with? This is an important one. Do you want to walk alone? Do you want to be part of an organized group? Do you want to walk with family, friends? There's lots of choices, but this is your Camino. You might do this only once in your life. You want to be with people who will not get in the way of you accomplishing your Camino goals. You should be able to count on your travel partners being flexible, low maintenance, kind, and being a team player. I was fortunate to be able to walk with two amazing ladies. We looked out for each other. We talked about the hard stuff. We laughed and we prayed. We helped each other with our blisters, heartaches, and physical aches and pains. We made sure we had plenty of quiet time. There was no judgment about stopping for some fine Spanish sangria and Basque cheesecake at 10 a.m. Being with each other was never stressful. We talked about our goals for the day and debriefed every evening. What to pack? I'm not the person to chat with if you're planning on carrying all your luggage. You will have to check out videos or blogs of pilgrims who did it that way. I paid for my luggage to be moved from hotel to hotel. It was a very seamless process. I only walked with my day pack. I went to REI and got fitted for a backpack. Very important to do this. You want something with a hip belt so that the weight is distributed evenly. You don't need anything more than a 22-liter backpack. I used a water bottle and not a bladder. I found that to be more convenient. There were plenty of places along the way to fill water. In my pack, I had my rain gear, poles, a few snacks, chapstick, hand sanitizer, some paper towels, Tylenol, Advil, and Benadryl, a pair of socks, a first aid kit, and some Ziploc bags. The Ziploc bags come in handy to save your travel passport and your Camino passport. You will be collecting a certain number of stamps on your Camino passport along the way. You will need this to get your final certificate. Stamps are mostly free and are available at most churches, hotels, and cafes. You can also pay a euro or two to get fancy wax ones. They're very cool. Having small change also comes in handy if you want to use restrooms at cafes that you will not be eating at. In terms of rain gear, you want something that will not overheat you. I wore a very light, breathable raincoat and a super light poncho on top of it. Have Ziploc bags to put away wet stuff and hang them up at night. Most people had a waterproof backpack cover. I recommend that. What to wear? Everything that you wear should be moisture wicking and quick drying. Layers are the way to go. Absolutely no cotton. Merino wool is your best friend. Smart Wool is a good brand for socks. REI has their own merino wool socks called Darn Tough. They have a lifetime warranty. Some REIs even have Camino specialists who can help you with all your gear. You want to avoid ankle socks and get slightly longer socks. This prevents stuff getting into your socks. There's also a bougie brand called Icebreaker. They have merino wool shirts and socks, underwear, and sports bras. The socks can be worn multiple days without washing. That goes for most of your clothes, actually. I'm told that hardcore hikers turn their underwear over to get double mileage, if you want to go that route. Quick dry pants and shorts, some short sleeve or tank tops, some long sleeve, and a fleece, and you're set. Something for the evenings would be nice. Have two pairs of shoes that are broken in. Trail shoes work really well. You want to switch out your shoes during your Camino. If you like hiking shoes, try to get soft top ones. There are also hiking sandals you could look into. Have some flip flops for the evening. Make sure you have a hat, sunglasses, and sunscreen. In terms of training, I walked 3 to 4 miles 3 to 4 times a week for about 6 months. In the last 8 weeks or so, I did a few 8-mile hikes. I walked different terrains, different altitudes, nothing crazy. I don't think there is a set formula. You definitely want some core and upper body strength to carry your backpack. So maybe a good idea to work on your core, shoulder, and upper body. Also train with your backpack, all your day supplies, and your poles. On the Camino, absolutely stretch the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. I highly recommend you watch a few blister care, foot care type of videos before you go. I trained for months before the Camino and never got a single blister. I got one the second day of our walk. Maybe it is the terrain. My first one was under a callus. Use Leuco tape and cover all your hot spots every morning. I found taping my heel helped keep my heel pain-free. If you have a blister, put a sterilized needle and thread through the base of the blister. Leave the thread in there overnight with a Band-Aid on it. In the morning, take the thread out and put a Compeed on it. If you want more padding, you can put Leuco tape on top of the Compeed. I put a small layer of Vaseline all over my foot, especially between the toes before I put my socks on. There's pharmacies in every little town, so if you run out of Compeed or Leuco tape, you should be able to quickly grab some. And believe me, in the evenings, bonding over blisters and foot care is a thing on the Camino. What did I learn? The two big takeaways for me were Despite what the world tells us, we are all more similar than we're different. And we are meant to be part of a community. We are not meant to be islands. People need people. On our very first day, one of my walking partners talked about how it might feel to go through life as a pilgrim and not as a tourist. It stuck with me in a big way, and I ran with it. Everything about it made sense to me. I liked that I had to be disciplined to be a pilgrim. I had to be disciplined to get up every morning, get ready, get my luggage and my backpack ready, bring my luggage to the lobby by 8, meet my walking partners at a predetermined time, etc., etc. If I did not want my body and my feet to hurt, I had to be disciplined to tape my foot and stretch every day. I had to make sure I ate well and stayed hydrated. The idea of a pilgrim traveling with little baggage was appealing to me both literally and figuratively. I quickly realized that I did not need a lot of stuff to live. To that end, and to truly enjoy the blessings of the Camino, I had to let go of some of the baggage, heartaches, and bitterness that were occupying rent free in my head and my heart. Life has thrown me more than my share of curveballs. Be that it may, walking with hundreds of pilgrims and talking to even more made me realize that such is life. One cannot erase heartaches or find permanent solutions to every problem. There is a peace that comes with sitting with your hurts, but still have the freedom and courage to do life well. It is amazing what happens when you don't have a phone with you all the time. Time and brain power that's freed up when you're not Googling something, online shopping, checking social media, and reading news 16 times a day is incredible. Making eye contact with fellow pilgrims and wishing them a good journey somehow made me feel like I'm part of God's very own team world. The camaraderie between pilgrims is like none other. They say that the Camino provides should you need anything, and that was so true. Folks helping each other with their packs, sharing knee braces and first aid products, stopping to give a total stranger blister care and a pair of socks. BB chapstick or a granola bar, somebody always has your back. Strangers bonding over band aid and knee braces and making lifelong friendships is like magic. My walking partners and I even have a WhatsApp group chat with a family that we met on the Camino. We started as fellow pilgrims, but when we hugged them goodbye, they were our Camino family. I told myself that I would make a conscious effort to stay away from anything that looked remotely like divisive rhetoric and focus on shared values and common goals. Pilgrimage is not a race, it is a journey. Think about that. Pretty profound, eh? When you get to Santiago, don't forget to go to the pilgrim office to pick up your certificate, participate in reflection sessions, and maybe attend a Mass in English. If you arrive at the cathedral close to Mass time, you can store your backpack at a gift store next to the cathedral and attend Mass. Backpacks are not allowed in the cathedral. I would like to encourage you to read as many blogs and watch videos posted by other pilgrims. Get comfortable with your gear, first aid, and anything else that doesn't come naturally to you. Don't try to be a hero on the Camino. Ask for help if you need. This may also mean that you have to sit out a day, get a cab to the next destination, listen to your body, all those things. Don't try to be a hero. I would like to close with Beatitudes of the Pilgrims shared by the Pilgrim Office in Santiago. The Beatitudes of the Pilgrim. Blessed are you, pilgrim, if you discover that the Camino opens your eyes to what is not seen. Blessed are you, pilgrim, if what concerns you most is not to arrive, but to arrive with others. Blessed are you, pilgrim, when you contemplate the Camino and you discover it is full of names and dawns. Blessed are you, pilgrim, because you have discovered that the authentic Camino begins when it's completed. Blessed are you, pilgrim, if your knapsack is emptying of things and your heart does not know where to hang up so many feelings and emotions. Blessed are you, pilgrim, if you discover that one step back to help another is more valuable than 100 forward without seeing who or what is by your side. Blessed are you, pilgrim, when you don't have words to give thanks for everything that surprises you at every twist and turn along the way. That's my favorite one. Blessed are you, pilgrim, if you search for the truth and make the Camino a life of your life. Blessed are you, pilgrim, if you discover that the Camino holds a lot of silence, and the silence of prayer, and the prayer of meeting with God who is waiting for you. Blessings, future pilgrims. Buen Camino.